Solution number 3. Shady Trump associates plotted with Moscow to undermine Hillary, Democrats claim, perhaps even directing the hacking of the DNC and John Podesta. The truth of the matter? Senator Warner, vice chair of the Senate Intel Committee, he says there's no smoking gun, no evidence again.
Liz Wheeler blowing the narrative of the left of the last 9 months nearly out of the water. Hey, welcome to the Tim Jones Show. You're at FM NewsTalk 97.1. Good Sunday evening. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and looking forward to a little bit. If you're in the heartland, we got a little bit of a scorcher coming up here next, I think. But we're cool tonight in our overly ostentatious studios here at FM NewsTalk 97.1. Got Ken Williams, my executive producer, and Andrew also helping with the production capabilities in the back, answering the phones. 314-969-9797. Good Sunday evening. Hey, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We've been blowing up James Comey all night, and sorry to do that to the man, but I think he was trying to take Donald Trump down, as we've been talking, and that is, I know, a cynical view, but I think it's obviously now that we know pretty much the truth and just about the whole truth as far as what. And I disagree. I thank Charles for listening to the show, but I don't know what Charles is waiting for or hoping for. He thinks there's something else there, but as Chris Matthews says, there's no there.
They want to continue the narrative. That's
right. Donna Brazil says we got to pivot to something.
Something.
Where's the beef? So I got some beef here in the studio. I got Mark Harder here. Right. He's brought his own studio audience. Do you travel with that, Mark? You travel with your own studio audience?
Yes, we're trying to get them in here. Keep that door open.
Your epic trail of lovers and followers from near and far.
That's right, and I pay them very well.
Hey, no stranger to FM News Talk 97.1. Appears regularly on many of our shows here. He's a very good friend of mine. He's my county councilman. Mark Harder joins us live in studio. Mark, thanks for joining us on the second show of the Tim Jones Show. Second of many, we hope.
That's right. And so that you don't close down after the second show,
right?
I've brought you a gift to celebrate your second show.
All these gifts. It's wonderful.
And so
it's like The Price is Right.
You told me the other day that I couldn't be on the show unless I gave you a gift.
Gift shaming. Here, we got the...
so take this gift.
Grab that from you. Okay.
Take a look. I think
now,
it's very appropriate.
Now, can I pull this out on the studio cam? Is it for PG audiences?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, you can show
All right.
it.
We got some paper in here.
Yeah, you
spent a lot of time putting this together, I can tell.
I did it. All of 10 minutes.
Let's see. Oh, how appropriate. Look at this. Jefferson's.
Wow.
The audience is going to think I'm a big drunk, because last week I got some Irish whiskey, and now we're adding Kentucky's finest to it. But
that's right.
Ken and I only drink this on the way home. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We do not. Phones. Look at that.
Yeah, woo! Yeah, the cops are waiting for us outside. No. We drink this on our back verandas, right? All of us Republicans in our manses, right, Mark Harder? Yeah,
that's right. And cigars.
That's right.
Well, they say it has the resolve of Thomas Edison, or Thomas Jefferson, I should say, and the biting of Aaron Burr.
Oh, so. I like that. This is one of my favorites. This is awesome. Thomas Jefferson, just truly, I believe, our greatest president, or one of the greatest. I guess George Washington. I got to put him up there.
That's
and
true.
Lincoln, and we've had many greats, but I put him up there as one of the best. So thank you, Mark Harder.
There
thank you
go.
so much.
That should guarantee me at least a couple more shows.
At least, or maybe 5 more minutes.
That's right.
So yes,
that's right.
So Mark Harder. So let's get right to it. You've got some big news. I teased this in the first hour. You fought against something, I believe, last year that became an ordinance in the county of St. Louis, and now there's a big court decision. So tell the audience what it was. We got to remind everybody about this a little bit and why you fought against it and what's happened.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. Basically, back in 2015, a bill was produced or proposed to the St. Louis County Council on licensing landlords in unincorporated St. Louis County. And at the time, Councilman O'Mara was the author of that bill, and it brought in a mixed bag of folks from the ACLU, landlords, investors, tenants. Everyone was against it. No one was for it except for Councilman O'Mara.
So these generally disparate groups from the ACLU on the left to business, evil corporate folks on the right, the whole political spectrum that you described was against the bill.
Everybody was against it.
Gotcha.
And we held a number of hearings. It got delayed, and over a period of time, it was eventually passed by a 4-3 majority of the council at that time. And immediately, the St. Louis Association of Realtors got an injunction against it, and it never went into effect.
Okay.
So in 2016, it was supposed to go into effect January 1st. The injunction held. They went before a judge, and then the court case started. And so they came up against St. Louis County. And just a few weeks ago, Judge Reno from St. Louis County.
So this is so a suit was filed in the County of St. Louis State Court,
correct,
Circuit Court, and what happened?
And so in Judge Reno's court, she ruled it unconstitutional the way it was written.
Wow,
and
that's
so
big news.
It is huge news. And so they threw it back to the county and gave them 30 days to appeal if they liked to do that. And I'm proud to announce that the county will not appeal.
Whoa, Mark Harder, we got to give him some applause for that. That's a huge one. Yeah. From his own crowd and ours.
That's right.
We have dueling studio audiences.
From my side of the room here.
That's right. Hey, nice work. I mean, nice persistence hanging in there. And how about that? And that was bipartisan opposition to a not well thought out proposal. Apparently,
no, it wasn't, and it was. That's one of the things the judge said, that the language of it was not very well written, and it also did not give the necessary due process for those that were accused of violating the law, and a number of different things. But you can read that online, what they decided to do. But the good thing about this is that now this will pull together some of these groups that were against it, that actually want to do something positive, such as some of the landlords, the realtors, and others, and maybe go back to the county and say, hey, when we come up with a better way of inspecting these properties and enforcing the laws that are already on the books. And I think that's a positive portion of this. I've had a number of communications with different landlord associations, and they all say, hey, when can we sit down and go back through this and see if we can do something good without having a law?
Probably the right way, the better way it should have been done.
It should have been done,
place.
and it was what I advocated from the
We don't always need more ink on the books, right?
No.
Yeah, sometimes it's common sense and just working through a situation. Hey, Mark, second thing I want to talk to you about was this issue out in Chesterfield this week. There was a proposal by Mr. Dan Buck and some other folks to put like a sport facility in. And just remind the audience what all happened. What was that proposal? And I think it got shot down, at least for the time being.
Yes, it did. It's basically Dan Buck and Coach Matheny from the Cardinals have formed this group called the Base Foundation, and they were proposing what was called the Powerplex, and it would be an amateur sporting training facility for grade school, middle school, high school kids to learn sports, mainly baseball. They were going to build a dome that's made out of fabric that would cover 2 fields, and so that you could do year-round baseball and other sports. They were going to teach things. They were going to teach coaches how to coach and the like. And they had this property out in the Chesterfield Valley. They went before the county, the Chesterfield Council back in last year, the end of last year. They got tentative approval, but they wanted them to complete 4 different, what they call deliverables.
Okay.
And they wanted them to bring back, the developers to bring back to the to the Chesterfield these deliverables, which mostly dealt with financing, to make sure that they could finance this. And they were trying not to do this with any kind of government funding.
Yeah, my understanding was, refreshingly enough, Mark, they weren't asking for any TIFs or TDDs or other government handouts or tax abatement or tax credits or nothing like that. They were asking the city for no handouts, no crony capitalism.
Right. The only thing they wanted is the city owns the land that they wanted.
Oh, okay.
And what they wanted to do is set up a lease deal where the city would become the landlord for 50 years with an escalated rent through those 50 years.
Public-private partnership.
Public-private partnership, and very, very tied to that. And so they came back with their financing. They had to go out in the private sector. They had to go out in the bond market to get the funding. The only thing they missed by June 1st was the funding to do the infrastructure, which has to come from either the state or the county, in this case, the county. And so I was there at the meeting representing the county. We have been working on it diligently, trying to come up with money to build the infrastructure. The problem with the property is that there are no sewer or water immediately on the property. The pipes have to come from almost a half mile away.
So you got to do some infrastructure.
And it's about, at the time, anywhere from $7 to $8, maybe $9 million to do that. And so we were trying to find out alternate sources of that without having to tax anyone for this and create a better working environment for this business. So unfortunately, it went before the Chesterfield Chamber or Chesterfield
City Council
last week, and they voted it down and are basically backing away from it. So it would have brought in about $60 million of impact into the region. It would have cost about $34 million to build this facility, and it would be a year-round facility bringing in tournaments and leagues from all across the country, which people would come here and buy, rent hotel rooms, food, buy gas, go shopping, everything. So it was a huge kick for the economy in Chesterfield.
My understanding is, they decided not to proceed with it. That's their call. That's local control. They decided to move on, but there may be somebody else interested. And let's talk about that a little bit when we come back, and wrap up our discussion with County Councilman Mark Harder, and we'll wrap up the show as well. It always goes too fast, and I believe we're going to speak with Representative Justin Hill as well in our final minutes. So keep it right here. We got lots to unpack in our last segment here at the Tim Jones Show at FM News Talk 97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Frank Lita Acura. With 0.9% financing going on now. Can't beat a Lita. Online at litaacura.com.
Summer is always hot in St. Louis, and I mean real hot, and so are the savings.
Now at Suntrip Kia, it's the Summers on Us sales event. Drive off on a brand new Kia Forte lease for $99 a month, or lease a stylish 2017 Kia Optima, or have some fun in the summer with a Kia Soul, just $139 a month.
And you know what? That could be less than your cell phone bill.
And at Suntrip Kia, make no payments on select models for 5 full months.
So go on, take a vacation, and don't worry about a car payment till fall. We want to see you in a Kia.
Suntrip Kia has financing options for everyone. We'll bend over backwards to get you on the road in a brand new Kia.
Come in and find out what it feels like to be number one.
Don't you think it's time to trade up to a new Kia? We're ready to help. Suntrip